everyone, so today's the first day of my new back to school mini-series. I've done a couple of mini-series over the summer and they've gone over really well. I think because you guys like knowing that you can expect a video every day for a little while, because that's a little different. I don't normally post videos every day. Plus it's really fun for me to have kind of like a project like that. Like I feel really inspired when I'm doing mini-series to do lots and lots of videos in a short amount of time. So I wanted to do one all about back to school since it is that time of year right now. And this one is going to be about packing for college and my tips and advice. It's also kind of going to be a glitter gossip because I'm also going to talk about my own experience with moving into college freshman year. And I dug up some pictures of my freshman year dorm, which I didn't even know that I still had these, but I found them and I'm going to put them in this video so that you guys can see what my dorm room looked like, even though it was like 5 years ago or something. But I still would have my room look, I think, exactly the same if I was to go redo it because I loved my freshman year dorm. This mini series is going to be a little bit different than my last two. My last two were 100% on my beauty channel. This one's actually going to alternate channels every other day. So this one's on my beauty channel. Tomorrow's will be a glitter gossip. The next day on my beauty channel again for about 6 or 7 days straight, depending on how many videos I decide to do. I'm not really sure how many I'm going to do yet. But I figured this was a good one to get started with because it kind of kicks off like school, because you move into your dorm before you even start school, you know? So I just kind of wanted to talk about my tips and fears and all that stuff with moving into a dorm. So when I moved into my dorm room, I was a little bit nervous, mostly because, well, I was mostly nervous about the community bathrooms. I was so nervous about that at my school and at most schools in the dorms. I'm like moving my hands a lot. You end up sharing bathrooms with all the girls on your floor. We had 2 bathrooms for our floor, but our floor was like huge. So we basically shared a bathroom with 50 girls-ish, and it was 3 sinks, 4 showers, and 4 toilet stalls for 50 girls. It was basically always crowded. All the showers were always taken, and there was only 1 shower that I liked, so I would like wait for it because it had the best water pressure. It always had a line, but it was worth it because it would get all the shampoo out of your hair and the other ones would not. There was always a line for it. It was kind of annoying, but that was what I was most nervous about. But I was also nervous about living with a stranger for a year. I did know my roommate because I met her during orientation. So I had met her for a day and a half and I liked her a lot. But it still was that whole, you never know someone till you live with them, and she was still ultimately a stranger to me. So there was that aspect of like, I'm gonna be living in a tiny room with another person, with bunk beds, and I've always had my own room, so I was just nervous. I was just kind of, most people I think are nervous moving into a dorm for the first time. So when I walked in my freshman year dorm room, the first thing I noticed was that it was very stark and plain, and I wanted to cry because it was so cold looking. It had like this horrible color on the walls. It was like a white, grayish yellow. It was pretty much the worst shade of wall color I've ever seen. I don't know why they selected that for the dorms, but it had like furniture. We each had a bed and a desk and a little armoire thing for our clothes. We didn't even have closets, and we shared a dresser, and that was it. That was all the furniture. So I walked in, I got there first before my roommate, and I didn't want to pick furniture yet because I wanted it to be fair, which is a tip. So if you were the first one to get there, I feel like every other girl on my floor went ahead and took the best bed, the best desk, the best closet, and I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to do that because the girl that gets there second, it might not be her fault that she's getting there second. It might have been that her family couldn't get there until later, and it's kind of unfair to take, because everyone thought the best bed was the one that was either furthest away from the dorm or the bottom bunk. No one wants the top bunk in college because it's hard to get up there sometimes after you've gone out. So as much as you might want to go in there and just take the bed you want, take the closet you want, I would suggest waiting and trying to compromise with your roommate. The way Meredith and I worked it out is we decided that I would have bottom bunk for the first half of the year and she would have top, and then we would switch, but that because she was taking top first, she would also get first pick of closet, desk, and which dresser drawers she wanted and stuff because we shared a dresser. That was how we did it, and it ended up working out really well for us. We ended up being absolute best friends. Second tip is when you first walk into your room, if your room is really like kind of stark and empty, I suggest the first thing you do is make your bed. Unpack your bedding first and make your bed, because instantly adding that color to your room is gonna warm your room up and make it look way more homey and make you way more inspired to just decorate the rest of your space. And this isn't just for dorm rooms, this is for off-campus houses, any room you're living in away at college, like all this pertains to. I just lived in a dorm my very first year, so the first time I was going through all of this, I was in a dorm, but a lot of schools don't even require you to live in a dorm. Well, I feel like most schools do require you to live in dorms, but maybe you're going to a school where you're living on an apartment or a house off campus the very first year, and this kind of still pertains to. For bedding, I would suggest getting a color that just makes you really happy to look at it. My freshman year bedding was hot pink and yellow, and I kind of coordinated with my roommate because we talked on the phone over the summer, and hers was like a solid yellow comforter with hot pink sheets. So mine was striped bedding and hers was solid, and it kind of went really well together. And I think that one of the reasons why my roommate and I got along so well is because we were both really into room decor. So our room was like decked out. Like, we had the cutest little stuff. We had little curtains with like little flower lights going around it on our window that just made our room look so bright in springtime. And even in the dead of winter, when we would walk into our room when it was snowing so hard outside and we were freezing and our toes were about to fall off, we'd walk into our room and we would feel like we were in some like beach hotel because of our bright bedding and our flower lights on our windows and stuff. So just kind of, I guess, pick bedding that just makes you happy to look at it or makes you really calm. There was this other girl on my floor that had like really soothing colors in her dorm room, and that's what inspired me to have a really soothing room when I lived in a house off campus, when I started making YouTube videos, and I had like the light pink and green and white room, because that was kind of the opposite of what I had freshman year. And so that's nice too, but it's just kind of whatever gives you the right vibe. I actually recently got sent this comforter from Sears Back to School Selection. This is a really cute comforter as well that actually goes with my room here, and they sent it in a full queen, so I'm actually going to use it in this room. My comforter needs to be dry cleaned anyway, so I was thinking about it. I was like, I can just have that dry cleaned and then put it away as a spare blanket and use this one for a while because it is really cute. This is what it looks like. And it's basically like a gray silver color, and then it has like these hot pink details. This one I think would go really well if you were to do like more of a urban kind of city cool look. My room was very like bright and beachy. This would be really good for just having a more like if you're not like super into like pinks, but you do want a little touch of pink. This is the Crosstown comforter from Sears, and it's just an example of a comforter that I think would be really cool to have in your room and kind of give you a little bit of personality with your room. And as soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm gonna stick it on my bed because I really like it, and it's super soft. Another tip is to check with your school and see if your dorms are air conditioned before you go, even if you're going to a school in the north, because my dorm was not air conditioned, and we did have the option of having like a window air conditioner installed in our room if we like checked the box on our rooming application or something, and we had not checked the box, so we ended up requesting one as soon as we walked in, because on move-in day it was about 110 degrees inside of our dorm. We were pouring sweat, bringing up boxes up 4 flights of stairs because there was no elevator. We were just like miserable. So we did end up getting an air conditioning installed in our window, but it never worked really well. Like, those don't really work that well. So if your dorm is not air conditioned, and even if it is air conditioned, I would recommend taking some fans for your room. My dad and my roommate's dad ended up being so sweet and running out and buying us 3 fans each while our moms were like helping us decorate our room and unpack and stuff, because our room was so hot. So we each had one on our desk, and then we each had one clipped onto our bed that would go on us like at night, like blow on us in our sleep. And then we each had like floor ones too that just helped cool the room off because it was so hot. And honestly, my little bed fan was like the #1 most important thing that I took to college, and it was something that 99% of people would have completely forgotten. Like, I didn't think to take one. Thankfully, my dad and her dad ran out and got us some. They thought of it before we even did, but we loved those things even in the dead of winter, because our dorm would just get so hot because they would heat it in the winter and it would still just get over hot. So our fans were like our best friends. Another tip, if you are gonna have community bathrooms, is do not forget to bring a shower tote. You are going to need one because you're gonna need something to like tote all of your shower stuff to the shower and back. You're not gonna be able to carry all of it, especially if you're like a product junkie, which you probably are if you're watching my videos. But also don't forget your flip-flops. Even if you're not a flip-flop wearer, bring an extra pair that can actually live in your shower tote, because you want to wear shoes in the community bathrooms. You do not want to get foot diseases. And this one is nice because it actually has pockets all the way around, so lots of little compartments for you to put all of your stuff, your shampoo and your conditioner and your razor and your shower gel and your Lush stuff and your loofah and all that stuff. And this one's lined on the inside, so it's nice because if you spill any products in there or anything, you can just kind of wipe it up and clean it up. And it also has holes in the bottom that help just like dry it out if it gets a little wet. This is the Sears Style Factory shower tote in Raspberry Smoothie, and I like that it has holes because I specifically remember that mine did not have holes. So that's nice because it kind of drains any water that gets in there, or if your products are kind of wet and stuff. Another tip, really fast, this is kind of like a common sense tip, but kind of match your accessories in your room. So for instance, the crosstown comforter I showed you had like those hot pink accents, even though it wasn't the main color. So make your towel be in the same color as your accents. Instead of doing one color that's like the overwhelming color of your room, have your accessories be in accent colors, because at least in my dorm, like my towels showed like there wasn't really anywhere to put them, so they were kind of just out all the time, just like hanging on hooks around our room. So we had hot pink and yellow towels freshman year, and this one is the Sears Style Factory and Raspberry Smoothie as well. These are both Raspberry Smoothie. And absolutely do not forget a laundry hamper. You are going to need it. I used to have to tote my laundry down 4 flights of steps because all the laundry, well 5 actually, because the basement, all of the laundry machines were in the basement of our dorm. So, and even if you live off campus and you have, if you're going to have like a laundry machine in your house, I did when I lived off campus, you still need a laundry basket. And this one's actually specifically nice because it's 2-sided. So you can go ahead and pre-separate your lights and your darks, or I'm like really weird and picky with my laundry, so I actually probably would get 2 of these and have whites, lights, darks, and like more careful things. Like I wash my bras separately and I don't like dry them and all that stuff, so I probably would actually have 4 compartments, like get 2 of these. But this is actually really nice because my freshman year, I just had one of those mesh pop-up ones, and it didn't have 2 compartments, and it was annoying because once I got down to the laundry room, I would have to sit there and separate it. And honestly, I would do my laundry in the middle of the night because that's when the machines were open, and it was creepy down there. Like you did not want to be down there separating your laundry. You wanted to put your laundry in and go back up to your room because it was very underground and dark and creepy down there at night, and I would always get the ibby jibbies every single time I was down here. And this is the Sears Style Factory laundry tote in Raspberry Smoothie, so it matches the shower tote and the towel. Another tip is to create a little eating area in your dorm. Remember, your dorm is kind of your entire house for the year you're living in it. You kind of have to do everything inside of your dorm. So my dorm came with a mini fridge, and I think most dorm rooms do come with a fridge, and it was actually a nice size. But we had to purchase a microwave, and we put the microwave right on top, and then on top of the microwave we had 2 of those little crates. You know what I'm talking about? Like the crates that have like the little holes in them. A lot of times you put books in them. Like we had 2 of those in coordinating colors to our room that we put all of our snacks in, and we shared all of our snacks. I know you can just have your own basket if you don't get along with your roommate as well, or if she tends to eat all of your stuff. But my roommate and I, we would share all of our snacks. Even though our room was really small, we felt like it was our little kitchen, and whenever we were watching a movie or something, we'd be like, I'm gonna run to the kitchen and make popcorn, even though it was like literally I could touch it from my bed. Another thing that I would suggest for your dorm, I didn't have one of these, and I really actually wanted one. My next door neighbor had one. She was very health conscious, and she always would make like power smoothies in the morning, so I always wanted like a little single serve blender. This is the Hamilton Beach single serve blender with a travel lid. This one's actually pretty cool because it makes 1 serving and it plugs right into the wall, and you are allowed to have things like this in your dorm. A lot of dorms are different. I would definitely check with your rules. I know a lot of them don't allow any like electrical stuff, like cooking stuff. Ours did allow microwaves. I don't know if all do, but these little blenders will definitely work. They just plug in the wall like a hair dryer. It's like not a big deal. And this one's nice because it actually comes with a little travel lid. So once you make your thing, you can pop this on and actually take this off as a cup, which is kind of cool because you can just take it to class just like that. And it's kind of like an all-in-one, and the cord wraps around, which is also really nice. So if you're kind of into like healthy stuff and you want to make power smoothies in the morning like my old neighbor from my dorm, then I definitely would suggest looking into something like this as well. And bring magnets for your mini fridge, and you can like hang up your good grades. We would always hang up, if we got like an A on a test or a paper or something, we would put it on our little fridge, and it was totally like we were at home because my mom used to do that. So I just thought it was kind of cute. So you can get like fun magnets and leave each other notes on your fridge or anything like that. You really want to make your space your own, so you definitely want to decorate. Like I said, I had the cute little curtains with the little lights that went around them, which actually that was my roommate's idea, so I need to give her the credit, but I loved it, and it totally inspired me to go out and get more room decor for my room, because you really want to make your room feel super homey and like a little oasis where you can escape from if you're in a really hard class and you're really struggling, or if you're having to study all the time, or any stress you have going on in college. You want your room to just be a really relaxing, homey feel. So get things like collage picture frames. This is the Next Array 12 Up photo frame. And these are not my pictures. These pictures came in it. As an example, you can see my little lighted makeup mirror. But something like this would be super great for college. You can have pictures of your family and like your pets and your home and everything. And every time you look at something like this, it will just make you feel a little bit closer to home and a little bit closer to the people in your pictures. So I had a lot of pictures around my dorm room freshman year in photo frames all over my room. And we were allowed to hang things on the walls. Most dorms do let you. So something like this would really just add like a homey touch to your dorm room. My last tip is actually school related. Remember that you are going off to college to study harder, so you definitely want to create a study space in your dorm room. Our dorm rooms came with desks. Probably your dorm room will come with a desk, so you don't have to like go out and buy a desk or a chair, but you do want to create a cozy little study area where you put your computer there and you open a textbook and you feel like you're in a library, kind of. A cozy library. You don't want to feel like you're in a library. That is the worst advice I've ever given. So I would definitely like have picture frames on your desk, get like cute desk accessories. If you're really into school supplies like I am, I'm kind of obsessed with school supplies, then get cute little things that are going to make you study more, like fun pens and fun post-it notes. And just make sure that your desk is a really comfortable place to study and pull all-nighters, because you probably will end up doing a lot of studying in college, considering that's what you're there for. This is a really cool lamp. This is the Style Factory Student Desk Lamp in white. And you definitely need a lamp. I specifically like this one because it has a little base that you can put like all your knickknacks. Like I think I'd fill that up with colored paper clips, because I feel like it would kind of give you like a really like school vibe. Like I loved paper clips and I used them constantly. I would paper clip everything together. I was a big paper clipper, but get a color that either complements what your room decor is. Like you could get this in Raspberry Smoothie if you're doing all your accessories in that color. I actually like white though, because for some reason when I'm creating a study space, I like it to be more, well, I say that now. Now if I was creating a study space, I would want it to be very neutral and very calming, because when you sit down to study, you don't want a ton of distractions. You want it to be a very calm experience. I'm pretty sure that my desks in college though were just kind of crazy. I will show you some pictures, but my freshman year dorm desk was not organized at all. And when I lived in my house, my last 2 years of college, it was very like decorated, but not very feasible for studying. But if I was to go back, I would create a more zen study space and do more like neutral colors and more whites, and just have it be a little bit more calming when you sit down to study. I also saw on the Sears website, they have this corner wall accent shelf that actually fits in the corner and like has a couple shelves. I don't have one to show you, but I really liked that, and I actually would get that for my dorm, because you lose a lot of spaces in corners, especially the corner your bed is in. You can have like picture frames up there and maybe well, I don't know if you can have candles in dorms. Maybe not a candle, maybe one of those battery operated candles. I actually really like those that like flicker like a real candle, but they don't actually burn, because you can't burn things in dorm rooms. I think that's all of my tips. Oh, I would also suggest getting like a fluffy rug for your floor in a coordinating color to whatever your room decor is, because my dorm and a lot of dorms that I've seen have like tiled floor. It's not carpet, it's not hardwood. It's really, really cold to your feet. And when you wake up in the morning and you put your feet on that floor, you're gonna wanna crawl right back into bed and not go to class like you need to be doing, not doing the responsible thing. So I would suggest getting a rug for your floor. It will just make you feel more cozy, and it will be softer to your feet in the mornings. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the first video of my mini series. There will be a lot more coming up. Make sure you're subscribed to both my channels and and come back to my second channel, Elle's Glitter Gossip, tomorrow for the next video of this mini-series. Make sure you check out Sears for back to school room decor. They have some really, really cute stuff this year, and I hope you enjoyed all of the tips that you learned today, that I talked about today. And if you have any requests for future mini-series videos in this mini-series for back to school topics, leave a comment below and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.